guys, and yes, we have our Sofia back. How is Paul? Let's introduce Paul first because it's been a while. Paul, I know you've been
Which
on
one's
a lot.
Paul?
Which one's Paul? Paul's the one with the Grizzly Adams looking sumbitch.
Oh, that must be me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Conan one behind you.
I recently came back from the grave for a stint, and so got to hang out with my.
What happened to your finger?
I was running on about 3 hours sleep because I had to drive back from Chicago Sunday night and was making dinner last night and mistook my finger for part of the roast.
Parsnip. Gone. No, he's fine. So he's on happy pills and everybody else is here. So what else we got? We got some golden stuff here. DS, how we doing?
I'm good. It's good to be back, Paul. Welcome back. We missed you, but me and JD have been competing for like best beard, and now you're back, and it's like, what's the point now?
I can judge you guys for second place.
I even had my kids start screaming more so I can get credit. So
yeah, I got some great, but it's not. You got a little more than me there, JD, but
that's what it is. Some people say it's distinguished.
Yes, it is. I agree.
There you go. Mike, how you doing down there?
Pretty good. Just writing some last minute notes. I growing a beard, but you know it's not working. I'm not manly enough for that. I don't know.
So before we go anything else, I want to shout out some of the people in the chat to get there early. I'd like to do this a little bit beforehand. We got a lot of tailgaters today. Jason Smith, how are you? Always good to have you there. Paul was waiting in the wings. Chris Barrett, how are you? Good having you here. Comic Man Andy, very nice to have you here. DS, he's right there. Tony Sanders, the Tone. He's going to learn a bit about the Tony Sanders, great man. Mr. Gretzky, how are you? Good having you here. Kamikor, Paul is not dead. That's not me, Kamikor. That's somebody else. And there we go. We've got good time. All right. So what do I want to bring up first in the Golden Age? Well, we can go over the stuff that's coming up with Comic Connect and everything else. But anybody want to show anything? Paul, did you have anything you wanted to show? Show off your new artwork. Come on.
All right. Well, I did.
Let's put Paul. If you guys don't know, Paul does a really good, amazing artwork. It's not golden related, but let's just show his art. It's really
I did 3 while I was dead.
Yeah. Well, Van Gogh. He's got both ears, though.
Got that one.
Nice.
And then
you got a studio in your house somewhere you can do this at?
I do it in my garage. I have a nice setup out there.
Good ventilation, I hope.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wear a respirator too.
Oh.
This one I thought came out really cool.
Oh yeah,
it is cool.
Like a triptych.
Yep.
Dude, you need to put some like eternity in there, or like celestials, or
it's like a surfer.
Yeah.
So middle panel.
I'm starting to work on some stencils to do some stenciled stuff. And then I did
Galactus in the background of that one right there.
Yeah, that would look really cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't Eternity have isn't this like part of his outfit or something? I can't remember.
Yeah, Eternity's inside.
Yeah.
I don't have one. There's one. Hang on.
So Paul, you painted those?
Yeah, you see, this is Eternity. That's what Eternity is.
Impressive, man.
So good job, Paul. Oop, edge of stream. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
this
right.
is Eternity here.
Yeah, he's got all kind of.
Well, you did a close-up of
Eternity. That's his shtick. Yeah. So okay, good stuff, Paul. All right, DS, what do you got? Anything fun and exciting? Whoa, let's show what did you add to the collection. We know you got.
Yeah, I picked up 3. Well, I mean, I've received more, but I got 3 noteworthy books I'll show tonight. One's not gold, but I'm just pretty happy with it. And it's Top Secrets 92. Everybody knows that book. I bought this. I was hoping it was going to be an 8.5. Came back 8.0, off white to white. And I've got a 5.0 that I'm going to sell. I'm going to auction that off on Thursday, actually, on White Whale's auction.
Oh, excellent.
Does that one past the break point? What's the break point where that starts being worth more grade for grade than a 181?
Nowadays 996 is they're about the same and in those levels, but it's not really even close right now. I mean, what's a 181 right now?
Because I think it used to be like if you were above like a 7.0, the House of Secrets was going to be worth more because it's harder to find in high grade.
Yeah.
Well, the House of Secrets was climbing. Well, the Hulk shot up, and then it's been sort of plateaued and a little bit down lately. The House of Secrets has recently dropped a little bit too. I think an 8.0 of a 181 is probably in the neighborhood of 3,500 to 4,000 in that area, and so this is like half that. So
really,
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
and I still think that's much harder to find in that grade than a.
It is. The other thing is the higher one though, the 9.8 of the House of Secrets and the 181, I think are about the same price. I think they both have hit that price, but 181 has a lot more of them. So
yeah, I mean, there's higher demand for the 181, but there's less copies of the 92. So I don't know. They're both big books. I bought that sort of to flip as an 8.5 at a better 8.5 GPA price, but now it's an 8.0 and the GPA, the prices are down a little bit. I'm going to hold on to it. I mean, trust me, I love that book anyway. So I'm going to keep that for a while, but I'm going to sell my 5.0. But so anyway, that's not Golden Age. I figured people would appreciate it. I got a couple Golden Age books though. I picked up this one, Suspense 7, LD Cole Books, 1944, 4.5.
another marionette cover. We showed one of those.
Marionette cover is super cool here.
Where'd you get that?
My comic shop.
Oh, cool.
Prices on this book doesn't come up a lot, and a lot of times when books don't come up a lot, everybody has a tough time pricing them. But I think these are going for around 1,000 to 1,100 in a 4.5, and I got it for significantly less than that. So I just, what the hell, I picked it up. It's a book I wanted, and it's a suspense comics. It's a cool cover, so sort of an impulse buy, and it was at a good price, so I picked it up. And I'm not working on a suspense comics run, but there's several of those I like, so I think I have 4 of them now out of the 12. And then I picked this one up, suspense.
Do you have them both?
Both of the suspense 7 and the suspense 8.
No.
The other 3.0.
All right, so yeah, I have a 3.0.
Yeah.
And then I recently
That's the thumbnail right there.
I picked up the 4.0.
Hang on, I'm gonna.
That's a thumbnail.
You're on full. That's our thumbnail right here.
So here's the deal: the 3.0 is the solid 3.0. It's off-white pages. The 4.0 is it actually looks like a 6.0, but it's got a 2-inch tear on what does it say? 2-inch tear on most pages, and it's got light tan to off-white pages. So those two factors kept the grade down, so this one actually presents better than its technical grade. So it's a really good looking 4.0. This one is just straight up decent, rock solid 3.0. I mean, there's no chunks missing, and it's just
looks like a great copy, that 3.0.
It's hard to see on camera, but the 4.0 is a little later.
4.0 is immaculate, but the 3.0 is a sweet book too.
Yeah, you can't really tell, but the 4.0 looks significantly better. But anyway, I'm going to sell the 3.0. It's actually for sale right now. So I'm going to sell that. So yeah, a productive week. So that's what I've got.
Nice. All right. Hang on. I have to do this part again. Hang on.
You got anything, JD?
I didn't. I won that item last time on the auction. I'm bidding on a few on the Comic Connect. I didn't pick up anything. I actually have been negotiating with someone right now on Tales from the Crypt 32. We're working on trades. He's interested in some of what I have. Our price on that book is off by a little bit, so the trade value's a little differently on what we're going with. He wants some modern keys, which I have, which I'm willing to give up for this. It's about a 5.5. It's already graded. It's not the easiest one to find. I mean, it's common. It's a Tales from the Crypt, so it's not like it's rare by any means. But it doesn't come up that much, and usually I've seen them, a lot of them ripped up and stuff like that. It's kind of it's the, if you don't know, the elephant stomping on the good girl.
Oh yeah,
it's Jack Davis right there.
Yeah,
Elephants, you don't say.
Yeah.
These aren't hard to find, but some of them are more difficult than others in nice grades, and I think that's one of that's on the side of harder to find.
Right, like the one of you after it is very common. The one with the girl on the with the axe is getting thrown at her goes significantly less. You know.
Yeah, I see that one all the time.
Yeah, that's significantly less. I wanted to get into something before we get into Knights' thing. I just want to share a few things on Comic Connect. First, I'll have DS shout out the two big books that closed last night. Were it was a Batman 1 in an 8.0 Universal label. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm going to bring it up here.
Okay, I'm going to show it. And I'll do. So if you don't know, Batman 1.
So it's an 8.0 off-white to white with a QES certifying sticker. That means it's, an awesome copy for an 8.0.
And that book went for?
Went for $498,000.
$498,000, just shade under $500,000. And there was an Action 1 restored.
Is that Batman price high, low, expected?
Well, when I was at Heroes, there was a guy who had a 5.0 Batman, and he was asking $250. And so this is twice that price and not quite twice the grade, but it's an 8.0, so I figure it's twice as good. Really, the 8.0 is probably twice as good as a 5.0. He was asking $250. This one went for $5, pretty much. So, I think
the high. How many are graded higher than the 8.0? Probably not too many.
Yeah, I didn't do any census research on it.
The census Batman 1, it's pretty weird. There are 792s are the highest, right?
Whoa.
But only one is universal. So there are 2 9.0s, 3 8.5s, and then 5 8.0s.
And how many total?
Of the whole Batman 1, 267 total, 118.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I mean, that's a fair number of copies.
That's a high. I remember that's a high. Out of the Golden Age keys, Batman 1 is
restored.
A lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of restored too. Tons restored. That's actually.
I hesitate to give my opinion on whether that's a good price or not, but I just know that the 5.0 was $250.
The last 8.0 public sale was full, so that was December of 16. Yeah, but that, the one that I've heard, the big one, the only one that's ever broken 1 million was years ago. I mean, 6 years.
And I don't follow the stock market or real estate market or foreign currency market or anything like that. But I think when you get into books of this level, they're like major financial investments. The people that are buying them, it's not like they're buying a book for their PC. It may be part of someone's PC, but it's a major financial investment. So I think there's broader economic factors that contribute to the prices on books like that. It's not like, we're buying, $500 books or $5,000 books. When you get to that level, it's a whole other ballgame. So
now there's also the Action 1.
Here's the Action 1. It's an 8.5 with slight/moderate restoration. And I posted this on my PCH Market Watch Instagram account. And the general consensus was that this went for a pretty good price. And because the resto is not as expensive as you often see on a major book like this.
Correct.
So that was the consensus from people who know more about it than me. But it sold for $314,000.
Somebody said it should have gone for way more than that.
Yeah.
How much was it? Sorry.
314.
Whoa.
I would have expected it to go for more than that.
And the rest of it is small amount of color touch, pieces added, tear seals, cover cleaned, cover reinforced. So no trimming. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's slight to moderate. They gave it A2 on the resto scale. But
professional at least.
I almost feel like this would have sold for more without the resto. But again,
that's what I think.
I'm not an expert on these books, but I would like to see that. And I bet it wasn't that bad to begin with. You know what I mean?
I mean, even at a 5, we get more higher than that.
Yeah, no, I don't know how much pieces were added or how much color touch is on it, but you know, it couldn't have been. I've seen a lot rougher books being restored than this one, and you know, I think some
congrats on the restore
on resto and they went for more. I don't know, but like I said, I'm not an expert on these books for sure.
Congrats to the restorator. Great job.
Yeah.
So some of the books that are ending tonight, I wanted to point out a few historic ones. If you could bring these up, DS, while I shout them out. I'm going to do the whole screen. So I'm going to show everybody. So hang on a second here. There we go. One of the things I just wanted to share with you guys real quick was the Comic Connect has got a few things that have ended or certainly that are pretty high out there, including from the Golden Age especially. We have some of the big ones. Phantom Lady 17.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of one at the top. This is 9.4 with a QES sticker. Seems to be a lot more popular nowadays. Obviously, if you know the book, Phantom Lady 17. Everything you'd want in that cover, from headlights to taillights, right there. She's a beauty right there. That is it. Is a 9.4 current bid, 88,000 with 2 days to go. Where do we think that's going to end up? You think it'll break the 125 barrier?
Is it the highest graded?
Yes.
But it's not pedigree?
Well, yeah, it is. It's the Phantom Lady collection.
It's not recognized on the label as a pedigree.
Right. It's a known collection that's been around.
The Phantom Lady collection.
But it's one of the interesting ones that has it's not white pages, it's pink pages.
Pink pages, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that should go 125 for sure, I think.
Okay. Good call.
It's a huge key.
Yep. 9.4 pink pages.
GGA, like it's the best GGA.
How's everybody? So this is a pretty impressive book out there. So we think that's going to go higher. It's going to be about 125. That's the over under. I think I'm taking the over with Knights. Anybody think 125 over under?
Oh, I'm going over.
Over.
I was going to see if I could pick this up for $5,000, but
what's it at now?
88,000.
88,000.
Okay. We also have.
You think you'd be flagged if you put in a bid? You know, now. Like, I wonder if they flag you if it's like starts, you know, going over like 50K or something.
Like if the biggest book you ever bought was like a $30 book and also $1 million bid down on something.
I don't think they will let you bid over $25,000 without contacting them first if you haven't done that before. I think your bid might go in and they would probably instantly email or call you. Yeah, if you're going to make a bid like that, you got to contact them first. So, but I mean, I've bid over $20,000 on a book on there before, but it was the AF-15 just to track it on Comic Link, and went through, but I didn't win it. And so
you had a few hours of sweat in there, I remember.
Well, I wasn't sweating, but no, that was a different one with Brittle Pages that I almost won, and I'm glad I didn't. But Mrs. DS was sweating when I told her I bid $20,000 on a book. But it was like a 9.0 AF-15. I mean, it wasn't. I just
do that with art all the time, just so I could watch it.
Yeah, so I wasn't sweating it, but she was, because that's, you know, she didn't know if I'm being real about it or not.
Another book to bring up is a Superman 1 Universal 1.0. 2 days to go. Current bid 51,000. Overstreet says a 2.0 is 100,000. I don't have any good last sales at a 1.0. I'll look again.
Depends what it looks like.
It
Looks like it presents pretty well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll tell you though, if you look at it, it's not going to show up on the video, but it's in pretty rough shape, and the cover is heavily creased and cracked and dirty.
Looks like there's
cover
some
looks-
splitting on the spine too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of splits on the spine, on the right edge, and the bottom part looks like a cracked windshield. It's one of those books where the pages are off white to white, but the cover is getting close to brittle, which they don't count as the page quality. The cover doesn't count in page quality determination, but the cover on this is rough. But for a 1.0 of a Superman 1, presents pretty well. The spine of cover and first wrap completely split and detached. So
Okay. I'm going to say the over-under on that one would be 65,000. Full disclosure, last sale in June on that same grade. I don't know the book. It was just creamed off white. It was missing a huge chunk of Superman. It was about a fist-sized chunk. It sold for 71,000. So
yeah, this is a better copy than that.
a better copy than that. I think we're going over on that one.
And the back cover looks decent. There's a little chip missing off the top, but the back cover looks basically as good as the front cover. So for a 1.0, this is really decent.
And
Okay,
it's
one that ended
page quality.
Off white to white.
White to
Yeah,
white.
it's pretty
But I'll
good.
tell you, all somebody has to do is tape the covers together and that first wrap together. Just tape them together, and you're automatically going to get a 1.5.
Come on.
I'm telling you, I got a Suspense 2 at CGC, exact same condition, except the covers are taped together, and it got a 1.5.
Would you crack that out to tape it?
I would crack it out, tape it, resubmit it, and get a 1.5, and you make 30 grand off it. Yeah, of course, I would definitely do that.
Yeah, it would be once it hits one. If it hits 1.5, that's going for 100 grand.
You get a lot of hits on that live.
100 grand, though. There was a 1.0 that went for 100 years ago when I was doing auctions. I know that for a fact because that was the first time 1.0 of any book hit 100 grand. That included an action one. That was the first time was Superman 1. We were talking about that afterwards, saying went for 100 and some odd that first 1.0 graded book. It was like maybe 5 years ago. Another book, one that ended was I'll just go over it really quick, was a Captain America 1 7.0 restored. It's professional, but it seems to be small amount of color touch, glue on the spine.
Which one are you talking about?
Captain America 1 7.0.
Oh, yeah.
Sold for 39.
Sorry, how much?
39. I'm telling you, the restored books are worth every penny. This is slight professional.
Only glue?
A small amount of color touch.
Oh, okay.
Small amount. Glue on spine of cover, which could have been tape at one point that was pulled off.
Yeah.
Why am I not finding it?
Who cares about glue? You could get that removed.
Tape to seal cover on the right edge and top and right edge trimmed. 39.
Oh, yeah. Depends on how bad the trimming is.
Yeah, it says slight. It says minimal.
Depends on the color touch, where the color touch is. You know, if it's like on his face, maybe that would be sucky. But
one historical book is the single highest graded Golden Age book of all time. Does everybody know what it is?
Well, there's a Shock Suspense 6. There's 2 of them in 9.9. I can't imagine there's a 10.0 Golden Age.
There's a 9.9 double cover.
Yeah, that'll beat it.
Captain Marvel Jr. number 29 is a 9.9 double cover, QES certified. Flawless staple.
Yes, is that another
area,
one?
color deep, striking red. And it's the Edgar Church Mile High copy. It's a Captain Marvel Jr. That's it's number 29. 9.9 double cover. For 9.8. Second cover, mint. That's all it says. Sold for $30,000.
Imagine the collection that probably went to. It must be huge. Like if you're like, I might as well add this, you know?
Yeah, might as well get the highest grade Golden Age of all time too. A couple of first appearance of Robins were out there, are out there that are ending tonight. You've got a 3-0. First appearance of Robin, Detective Comics 38. Little thing on there, 3 extra staples added, not manufacturing. So someone was very serious about stapling that book. The 3-0 current bid, it is a blue universal copy with those extra staples, question mark. It is. I guess they never took out the old staples. They just added 3 more.
Oh, that looks nice. That should go for a lot.
29,000.
Yeah.
3-0 current. 20.
Probably
Well,
go.
yeah, you want to hear the whole restoration on it?
Now here's the other one. That's 12,000. It's a 3-0 as well. There are 2 Detective Comics 3-0s.
Okay, there's a 5-0. Is what I'm looking
There's
at.
a 5-0, a 3-0, and yeah. And then we're going to get into that mask as well. We're getting into mask.
So there's 3 of them?
There's 3 first appearance of Robins, I think.
I'd be mad if I was consigning one of those.
I know of 2 for sure.
Be like, why are you putting them all in the same auction?
There was a Weird Tales that sold, but I'm done with that. And here's a very good one that I brought up. Giant Comics Edition number 12 by St. John's. This is a tremendously hard one. If you can find that this one ends tomorrow. DS, if you can bring this one up.
Yeah. 11?
It's Giant Comics Edition 12.
Oh, 12.
It is an 8. Yep.
Is this the one you're bidding on, Paul?
That's a Matt Baker horror. It is considered a prostitute cover.
Matt Baker cover.
Do they say that on the label?
No, they don't have prostitute on the label. It just says Baker prostitute on the description. It's great.
Cover.
That'd be great if you can get that on the label.
You need to write them about that one.
Yeah. I want you to add prostitute cover. It's great. And actually, I showed this book on my top 10 Baker Good Girl Arts. This is one of my favorites, hands down. So I thought this one was a great one. One of my favorites right there. And it's going for current bid, 13,000. This will, I don't know if it's going to hit 20. It is the highest graded. I think we're going to probably cap out around 17,000, but it's still a great tribute right there. One near and dear. I don't know if our good friend over here, DS, wrote down what this sold for. The Chamber of Chills, number 19, 7.0.
Yeah, that sold for 12,000 and change.
Yep, 12.5. Yep, very good.
Yeah, I thought that would be around 11 is what I was talking with somebody else. So yeah, I don't know why it's not coming up. Comic Connect is so hard to find stuff after it ends sometimes.
Oh, yeah, here's one that's still going on if you want to show it. Funnies on Parade. This is something where I think, I'm throwing it out to Knights of Old. I know it's not timely, but you like stuff out there. The first comic book ever, Funnies on Parade, Eastern Color, no number. First comic book, 1933. It was a giveaway. I don't know much about this book, to be honest with you, other than I've heard about it, and I've seen one in person at a con years ago.
I think this one was an insert in a newspaper, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the first monthly newsstand comic. It's just the first comic. But I think it was put inside a newspaper as an insert. I think. I researched these early ones at one point, and they were on my deep want list. But I think this one was as a newspaper insert, I think.
Is this one that has actually new content, or they just decided to reprint stuff in the comic book format?
According to this, it just says first comic book. That's all it says. I don't think anybody's ever opened up and find out.
It's disappointing that when they show, like, when Comic Connect has an Action 1 on there, there's a five paragraph dissertation about the comic. And then when they have the very first comic ever, the only notes they have is first comic book.
Yeah. The first-
JD, did you see the other historically significant one that's going?
The Famous Funnies one?
No, the Wonder Comics.
Oh, I'll get into that one.
Yep.
Number 7, Lupine.
No, the number one.
Ooh, number one, nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
good.
That's the one that was
the John Wise collection one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, over.
Was that Will Eisner through and through?
I think
Or
it's
Bob Kane's first work, right?
Yep. But it's a Will Eisner story, and he did the Wonder Man story, and that was the first time DC sued anybody for copying Superman.
So yeah, Wonder Comics 1 and 6.0.
Yeah. Currently, that one's tipping the scales at 10,700 with 2 days to go. I'm gonna let's make the over under on this one at, I don't know. Let me look this one up here. Let's do a fair assessment here. Does it beat out its last sale? I don't think. How many Wonders? Let me just so I can look that up at the same time.
It's a pretty hard book to find.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I bet there's probably 20 on the census, but it's one of those books people don't
sale. Wow. So I have a lot more. I have more sales of this than I have of all my Wanteds combined.
And the Golden Age, like the average grade, I think is like 4 or 5 for most books. So that's definitely considered high grade, I would say.
Wow. There are 21 on the census. 294s. A 9.2.
9.4, holy.
One of the 9.4s is the Church.
And then 1.60 right there. The last known sale of this book that I can look back is a 1.0 in January of 18. I'm not going back that far. Well, I'll have to go back that far, but let's go to a grade that's one. The last time this exact book sold was for $10,000 5 years ago.
Better go for more than that, I'd hope.
Well, it's already better than that. I think it's going to go. Let's take the over-under in this one at 17.5. Where are we going?
20.
I think it'll probably go for about 20.
20?
Yeah, it's definitely going to go. I think it would go over 20. I mean,
I think it should maybe, but I don't know if it will.
Well, the problem is, honestly, when you get people that are collecting books of that caliber, they don't want to mess around with one of the lowest graded copies at a 6.0. For us, that's an absolute.
It's not one of the lowest. It's one of the higher graded of the. It's the 4th highest graded. The problem is that there is a 294.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it'll go, but I mean,
I know what you mean though, DS.
Yeah. Like for me, I would get a 2.0 of that. I'd be ecstatic. That would be a major book. But people that are in that type of genre going after monsters like that,
right?
They like solid grades, and they're happy to wait, and they're happy to shop around, and they have connections. And people usually who are in this category know who has the other copies. Like they know where they are, and it's not
well, this is kind of a weird book too, because you've got those 3 super high grade ones. And then I bet most of the other ones you're going to find are going to be under 4.0 and under. And
they are.
There's probably like one, maybe 2 copies.
There are 4 above 4. 6.0 is there.
I think that could be a surprisingly high. I mean, I could imagine a couple bidders like trying to sneak their way into that and then finding out that the other guy really wants it. But we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I bet the consignor is going to be watching that really closely.
It's one of those ones that it could go.
Yeah.
You may have a couple people who say, well, I'll never be able to afford one of the 9.0 plus, so I got to go for this one.
Yeah. And I don't think that comes up often.
This is the Windy. It's actually a Windy City pedigree, which is an ancient pedigree. It's one of the
one of the earliest ones I remember.
Yeah.
Interesting thing about that book is like last week I was talking about when they were making Marvel 1, there wasn't even the term superhero, and they just called them characters. I was reading about that book, and when that went to court, they started to come up with that term superhero because they had to figure out like, all right, what makes this like something that can't be copied, like what components that make up this story or this genre like can't they have to be the same before we think it's like something that's going to be copied.
I remember way back. I think it was in Comic Book Marketplace. They did an article about this and the whole court case and everything. And there was someone out there, and this guy's like one of the luckiest guys on the planet. He had actually the Eisner artwork for issue number 2 that they never could print. He had the original art.
That's cool.
Oh, wow. I want to shout out people in the chat. Stephen Oaks, good seeing you. Who dat? Always good to see you right there. Good man. He's a big Matt Baker fan, and we showed up that Matt Baker cover earlier. We've got a very rarely prostitute cover, I want to call it. But I think that's what we want. Great Legend was here. Good having him here. One of the things, the book that I know before we jump in, just you got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Let's go over Mask One. As the LB Cole world has officially been turned upside down, would you agree to that?
Yeah, I mean it's not even the Wild West. Doesn't even qualify. It's just like I don't know. It's like a bizarro world of comics right now.
Is this slowing down at all?
For those of you that don't know, 2 weeks ago, Mask won in a 3-0 condition with a, I would say, a 1.5-inch triangle cut in the top upper right corner, almost a trapezoid cut in the upper right corner from on Comic Link, sold for a whopping $4,200, $4,100.
Yeah, $4,100, and I'll show you both copies.
Comic Connect has the exact same grade with a similar defect, a big white chunk taken out of the mask, right above mask. He's going to show that there. I know it has a pedigree known as Rural Home. No, Rural Home is the name of the.
Oh, that's the publisher.
That's the publisher. It's got no pedigree on it. It is what it is. You ready?
That one was the link. This is the Comic Connect version.
$11,422. This is a book that didn't break what in this grade would never have hit $2,500 a month ago.
Yeah, it was a little over that a month ago, but I mean, it wasn't. Look,
I mean, the last time I saw one sell in this, I saw one sell similar to this on the CGC website. It was a 3.0. We were talking about it. It was $2,500, and that was a fair price.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Comic Link one was like a week ago for $4,100, almost identical defect too. It's just the piece is missing, slightly different place on the top of the cover. So $4,100 last week, almost $12,000 this week. I did a post on my Instagram about this Comic Connect one, and look, I'm perfectly comfortable speaking my mind. This seems sketchy as hell. I'm just going to say it because there's no reason this should be near 12 grand for a 3.0 that doesn't present that great because there's a huge chunk missing on top. And especially with this almost identical book last week at $4,100, a 6.0 sold for 13 earlier this year. A 6.0, that's a high grade. I would expect a premium on that. This 3.0 is selling at what that 6.0 was, pretty much. And It's just really fishy to me. There have been a lot of fishy results on Comic Connect this year. Now, this is just my opinion based on the prices in the market. So who am I? I'm just some dude with an opinion with nothing to back it up. But $12,000 for an average at best presenting 3.0, it seems unreasonably high. But it's possible. I mean, the market is so crazy. It's possible. I mean, I don't.
Why would they go after that book? Come on. You could just offer someone who has it on Instagram like 15 grand and get one without the rip thing.
I mean, if I offered somebody on Instagram or on the boards or whoever who had a 3.0 without a piece missing, if I offered them 10 grand, I'm sure they would say yes. You know what I mean? And
it's going to be the talking board.
Not anymore.
I mean, I would still take it if somebody offered me 10. I'd be like, hell yeah, you can get a deal. It's 2,000 under GPA. The Comic Link GPA sale. This is. I don't know if that makes any difference, but
yeah. See, one of the things I've been going over is we would talk about this in one of the about this specific book, this specific scenario going on, and we talked about. Some people said I've seen it happen with a Black Cat where it goes a couple of thousand more. Well, you're talking higher grade. We never see it in this low grading of a book. I mean, these are good plus VG minus books, right? Is that 3?
Yeah, 3 VG. That's not. Yeah, good, very good.
Yeah. Now, the one thing about it is that I will say is that it is a what we say, 38 on the census? No, there were more than that.
No, there's 43 on the census for number
43
one.
on the census, yeah. 43. I was close. I was dyslexic. So 43 on the census. I still think that's too high.
Hey, look, 43. There's a ton of raw copies of this out there.
Right.
This book has been coveted among people into this genre for a long time before it had any real value. It was still considered an awesome book. But there's tons of raw copies out there. And tons. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but there's quite a few raw copies, and there's 43 graded copies. You know, in the grand scheme of things, that's not a rare book, but the demand far exceeds the supply.
Absolutely.
So far, if this was just an isolated sale this year and it went for 12, I'd be like, wow, this is really a hot book. But there's been numerous sales of this book this year, and there was one last week for a third of this price, the same exact book. So, you know, all
now,
that character 3 times the value. It seems sketchy to me, but I can't prove anything. And it's just, like I said, I'm just some dude with an opinion that doesn't, you know, I don't know.
One of the things also is the other Gilby Cole books with the similar character. I think there's a Startling Terror with that masked dude, the video with the burning candles. Is that a Startling Terror? Or?
No, there's there's a I'll show you. I've got a similar Cole book. There's a Target comic.
There's the Catman comics with Dr. Macabre with the candles.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. There's a 3.5 that just sold for like 3,500. So
right, and I think that's going to skyrocket now.
Yeah, it is a beautiful cover.
But yeah, it's one of the best dark GA books essentially. But you know, 12 grand for a 3.0. I mean, that's starting to get into like suspense 3, fantastic 3 sort of category. This is like poor man's Mask 1.
Yeah, I like the Target one.
And this was much cheaper, obviously, but it's not nearly as good. But it's still, this is a really cool. This is much harder to find than a Mask 1. But you know, very similar style by LB Cole here, a black cover. You know, and I picked up a nice copy of this. And I would like to have the masks, both of them, but I'm not. Even if I wanted to, I can't afford that. But I'm not paying that much for that book. I don't think it's that great. Maybe it is. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So that's about it on the Comic Connect auction I was going to bring up tonight. If anybody wanted to go over anything else, I recommend you go on their site if you want to check out some historical pricing on some Origins of Green Lantern, a lot of Captain America Golden Age, some Phantom Lady Black, Matt Baker's, as well as other historical books such as the first monthly, the first comic book ever. And one of my favorites that I just wanted to shout out because I believe my good friend Mike Knights of Old has one. They got a Mystic number 5, one of those my favorite ones, that the first Black Marvel. Do you have one of those?
No, I don't have any Mystic anymore, but you know,
9.2.
There's a nice USA 7, I think, in this auction.
Yeah, there was a good USA 7.
There's a good Daring 3 or Daring 5 on there too.
Let me look at that USA because I did see a USA that was pretty high up as far as value went. There was a Black Cat 50.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yep, 6,800 for a 5.5. That's a good price. Well, good for the seller there. The USA Comics number 7 with the Cap Shield.
How much?
5,800. 2 days to go. It's a 5.0. That's
yeah. It's a nice one, and it's pretty rare.
Origin of Marvel Boy. One. Yep, Schoenberg. A lot of good stuff in this auction. I actually give my hats go off to Comic Connect, other than the fact that it's a pain in the ass to win anything, because you have to stay around for 6 hours after the auction. All right. Yeah. So, all right, Knights, you wanted to do.
Oh, you want to shout them out one more time?
Yeah, chat. Evan, how are you? Good having you here. Who dat? talk to a few people there. Comic Man Andy, how are you? Good seeing you. I'm going to start showing the chat here while Mike goes over his thing. I'll do that instead of
And you can you don't need to put the camera on me because I made some pictures for this that should show up just fine.
Okay.
So basically, what I did was we're gonna do like since tomorrow's New Comic Book Day. I went through every Golden Age year. There's 18 years, and well, I say 1938 through 1955. What I say the Golden Age is, but and I picked out my hot picks for New Comic Book Day tomorrow, as if we were in that time. And since I missed last week, I added last week's too. So this will be the first 2 weeks of September. So we got coming out this week, Jumbo 2. It's got some good artwork by some newbies.
I'm going Jumbo 2.
Probably Jack Kirby is this new guy. He's seems okay.
Actually, he's not going by Jack Kirby yet in that. He uses
right.
Yeah.
You're right. And then Action, what is this? Action 5 seems like a promising title. You know, that Superman is pretty cool. might make it. You know, he's not on the cover a lot, so they don't believe in him too much yet. But what's happened in the news in September? Italy removed all their Jewish people's civil rights. So there wasn't too much that week. Actually, in comics total, that whole month, there was only 23 different comics released that whole month. So it was just getting started.
Nice.
So,
but I would have to take that Jumbo too.
Yeah. I mean, is that the last one that's large?
That's the only, yes, it's the universal size one. No, I've seen a Jumbo 5 graded. I've never seen a Jumbo 4 graded or a 3 graded, but I think somebody said there's a 3 graded. But the 2 is too big. It's bigger. It's treasury size almost. It's not really treasury size, but it's bigger than like your Death of Captain Marvel or your whatever, the magazine size ones. Death of Captain Marvel. What was another one? New Mutants. But you guys or Warren Publishing Books. Warren.
You know, I'm surprised that it took them so long to put Superman on the covers because the way they talk about it in the books, you know, history books I read, that everyone knew how much Superman was making. So I'm surprised they didn't, you know, he wasn't regular until I think issue 19, I believe. I mean, he was in every comic, he just wasn't on the cover until 19.
When does he first appear in Adventure?
Adventure Comics. You mean the ad for Action 1?
No. In Adventure Comics, there's an appearance of Superman early.
Oh, I don't know. I know that there's a new Adventure 26. There's an ad on the inside.
Oh, that's what it is. The ad for Action 1.
Yeah, I think that was early 38.
Yeah, it was February of February of 38. Because that book came out the day it was published. It was released out to the public was April 18th, 1938. Superman was Action 1. That was
I held one of those.
I know it says June on there, but it was released April 18th.
Right. I held one of the that new adventure in my hands and opened it up and saw that page. It was sweet.
Yeah.
I never see that come up for auction ever.
That's a good one. So we're gonna do this every week. We're gonna
I'll keep going. So here we go.
Yeah, September of 39.
So September, World War II had just started. And this is a really cool comic. I was trying to remember the name of this a while ago. Let's see if I can hold this right. This is really the first black superhero. As in African American black. Best Comics. I don't know if it has the number 1. And it's like this weird horizontal size.
Like landscapes.
Yeah, they did a couple of their issues are like that.
Really cool, and I think the art looks really awesome, and it's very hard to come by. And also this week, Detective 30. Oh man, my printing is. I think that's 32.
Uh-huh.
So Batman's not on the cover all the time.
Right.
He's getting
He's in the
started.
next one. I would go with the best comics, probably.
Yeah, me too, for sure. Then a year later, Hitler starts bombing Britain, and let's see, anything notable? Pep has been going for 9 issues. So before Captain America, this is an interesting
Right.
zip cover.
Who did
Crazy looking zip cover.
Is that the one with like the long-haired monster being knocked out?
Yeah.
Yeah, who did that? Wait, I've seen that.
I don't know, but I know that's Lou Fine at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that hit comics.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
it. See hit shark right there.
Yeah,
And there was something to do with the first.
band.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I passed on a 4.0 of that hit 5 last year for $2,000.
Oh,
I know,
man.
you know, you only have so much money. You got to pick your spots. You can't buy everything. And
Why not?
By the time I had enough, it just sold. I missed it by like probably 2 or 3 days.
Charles,
Now.
that Zip Comics is Charles Byro.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
So we still.
I don't recognize his work when it's not some lady
Crime.
getting her hair set on fire or something.
Yeah, it's bright. Somebody getting
Oh yeah,
down.
Byro. Yeah.
Mm.
I saw a lot of covers of his looking through this. There's some kind of draft. I'm not sure. It was like the first peacetime draft in America. I didn't get a chance to read up on it though, but I mean that must have made people think they were going to perhaps get into the war. It was still over a year.
I think I'm going to have to go with the Lou Fine cover on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What about you, DS? You want
I would definitely go with that Lou Fine cover. I wouldn't go with every Lou Fine cover, but that is one of his better ones. You know, he has a couple hit comics cover. I mean, he has a lot of hit comics covers. He did all the early ones, but some of those hit comics covers are awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, then we go another year. USA Jones #1 comes out. It's a hit comic. You might want to stock up on the couple #1s of those. Kirby and Simon are ending their. By this time, they were outed, perhaps by Stan Lee, that they were moonlighting. So they were off. They were fired from Timely, but they had to finish publishing 2 more books after this. This is Cap 8, possibly the worst Kirby cover of them all. Fighting some
People
Nazis.
joke about that one. Yeah,
Like what the? It's like
they joke about that one. Saying, who colored it? There you go.
there we go.
We know which one JD's taking.
I threw in the first elephant cover I found.
Jumbo 17 or 21.
I don't know.
There's 30. Hang on. Give me a second.
Printing's bad.
Hopefully my screen won't freeze on me.
We still didn't enter the war. This time in Germany, the Jews had to wear the Star of David on their clothing.
I would probably skip my pull list that week and probably dig in the back issue bins.
Jumbo 23 would be the first one. Jumbo 23, 29, 33. Those are the first 3. I knew I had it written out somewhere.
All right, 42.
Oh,
We're in the war. We're in the war by now. Here's a okay cover. I think it's Sid Shore's.
I love that cover.
Okay. And we got
what number is that?
it's number 6.
6. Okay.
All winner.
Yep.
And we got we're starting to detain a Japanese in America into camps. And this month, apparently, a couple Japanese planes actually bombed Oregon, which is still something I don't hear about that often. I think maybe they crashed into Oregon. I don't know, but I think it's like the only time they ever even touched American soil. But I could imagine, imagine with the way media is now, how crazy people would be going. Oh my God, they're here, they're invading. So then another year goes by. We got Timely starting another series.
Book though.
This is a pretty cool comedy comic. It has a Hitler funny animal.
Mhm.
And Italy surrenders at this point in 43. Still, we haven't done D-Day yet. I don't think. And Germany still occupies a lot of Italy, but hey, we're moving in there. I would take all select. Yeah.
Yeah, I would take the all select if I went back in time, knowing how valuable it is. But at the time, yeah, I mean, I'd take that over the funny animals one. But I mean, I'm not a timely guy. That cover's not spectacular to me, but I get it. Yeah, that's a big book.
The cool thing about that book is this is supposed to represent an actual castle that I think Hitler was in or something. And
the one where Himmler was is what it's.
They haven't at this point in time. U.S. hasn't even like come close to Germany. So
it was the spy stuff that they said
wishful hoping. Yeah. And wishful hoping. I don't even know that word. But September, here we go, another year. This is a weird cap one where it's Japanese and like an alien or something.
Yeah, I like that one. That's got some cool devices on it, like steampunk gears and readouts and stuff.
Yeah,
on it too. And like spinning saw blades or something.
Yeah,
I like that one. I'd pick that one for sure.
Samurai flag in the background.
And they launched another funny animal.
And then there it is, Mystery Comics.
I'd be all over that one.
I'll be on that one.
And this month in the news, you would see on the papers, well, I don't know if they would actually have it in the paper or not, but it was the first time U.S. military actually got inside Nazi Germany. And then
I actually have that Mystery Comics. That's the only one of these so far that I
have. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And we got interesting TV cover.
Arrows.
But I'd be all over that Black Terror.
Yeah, they're both good. You got double-edged sword in this one. You got Schoenberg's Hope.
This is the first Cole I've seen in the Septembers. I don't know how early.
Year are you in? 40, 43?
45.
45?
I'd just work extra hard that week and pick them both up.
I go with the Black Terror one.
And Japan just surrendered.
And it's not First Blonde Phantom. It's First Black Canary. I don't know. So no, who's that? The bad girl with Black Phantom. With Blonde Phantom, the bad girl. I forget her name.
I don't know who it is.
Fighting Yank.
Where comics are trying to figure out what the hell they're doing, I think, at this point. So the war is over. You got the Fighting Yank fighting a criminal who's like holding a sleeping baby or something.
It's just a Lindbergh kidnapping. Okay.
And Human Torch and Toro are fighting criminals in the streets. I would go with this Mighty Mouse, to be honest. I mean, that looks cooler.
The first Heckle and Jekyll was just on the CGC board. So those
are cool.
Yeah.
Then next year we got some really nice Schomburg, Zila, or however you say it.
Zella, yeah.
Airbrush covers. 2 in 1 month. Look at that. Or 2 in 1 week. Sorry.
I go with the Rhino.
Yeah, what number startling is that?
Let's see, we got number 46, I think. 46 or 48, I think. And then 58, perhaps, of Exciting. And Jackie Robinson just got Rookie of the Year. And, I mean, there was not that many cool stuff in these weeks, to be honest, that I could tell. Then
Schoenberg.
another year, another
That's
one.
famous Vulture cover. There's people that collect those things. Vultures
I think
attacking. Birds
there
attacking.
wasn't much going on in these middle, late 40s, it seemed like. I mean, there wasn't, at least not in September. There was crime, and it seemed like romance was getting started, but it was
a bunch of cool crime between like 46 and 49. There's a lot of cool crime books.
And then September 49, even worse. There was a lot of photo covers. Not very
There's
good.
nothing from Atlas. No Lawbreakers Always Lose.
I mean, this is just 2 weeks out of that September, so there might
2 weeks out of September.
Yeah, the Atlas stuff is starting to come in like 50.
Well, no, it starts at 48.
Yeah, but they really cranked up the stuff on like 1950. It started good, but
1950. It's starting to get more. I would definitely be going to the newsstand or the comic shop.
Black Magic. That's a great one.
Black Magic, some Kirby
Love
stuff.
that cover. Always love that.
I think Korean War just started, or there was. Korea was doing some nasty stuff. I think North Korea at this point. I don't really know too much about that war, unfortunately. And I really like this Flying Saucers cover.
Great cover.
Great for the era, if you think about it, with the almost like the movie poster.
Yeah.
And there wasn't too much sci-fi, really.
No, sci-fi didn't get big until, well, what do they say? Sci-fi starts in 47 and explodes in 52, 53. Yeah.
And look at that. It's like war and war. I thought that was pretty funny. War. It's like, why do they have to write it twice on there?
Who's the publisher of that war? Is that
Oh, boy. Couldn't tell you.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head either.
51. Starting moving into your territory, I think. So, got that one. That's a pretty cool Gangsters and Gunmo.
Love those books. Yeah, you like the shark one. You got that one, right?
And then, Against Gangsters.
I believe
Wartime Romance.
Is that a
pretty good title? I would be all over that Blue Bolt though. That's like a werewolf cover by L.B. Cole.
That's a good one.
Is this a Matt Baker?
Wartime Romance could be. He was very likely there.
Getting started.
I'd say it's a solid 50-50. It's his.
Yeah, that's what I think, Paul. 50-50 on any of those.
Well, he did a lot of. See, the romance stuff, you see him more and more in there. But when it's that far away, it'll be hard to tell. I can look that up.
Yeah, Warfront's probably a good artist. It's probably like a Heath or Elias or something.
I was thinking it's almost old enough to where it could be. Yeah, I was thinking Elias, but I was thinking, well, who did Warfront? That wasn't Harvey, was it?
I don't know. Next time I'll write the publisher. This
I'm just
I love that Gangsters cover is awesome.
Yeah, that's a great
cover. The girl with the cigarette.
Headlight, Tommy gun. That's a good time. Good girl art smoking. She's good.
And let's see. So in 1952,
Loves Comics. Good having you here, Evan. Great.
You might, if you're time traveling, if you're looking at this and making your time traveling list, you should definitely stop at wherever they show sell baseball cards, because the Mickey Mantle just sold last year a 9.0 for $2.8 million. So you'll want to pick up some of those Mickey Mantle cards on your way to get these beauties.
That's some Heath right there. There's some Voodoo. We don't know who did that one. Some Dick Ayers, Strange Tales right there. White Princess Jungle.
White Princess Jungle. I thought that was funny.
That's a good one. That's there's like 16 issues of that. Some red covers and stuff. Carl Burgess did a few of them. Yeah, good stuff. Strange Tale, Dick Ayers.
A lot of war books.
Yeah, the Korean War still going on.
Do you know where Americans drafted during that time for Korea?
A lot. They were. Yeah, they were drafted. My uncle Charlie went to Korea.
And then Superman TV show with George Reeves just started that month as well.
Nice.
Interesting. And then in September 15th, this comes a little bit after Atlas tried to relaunch their superheroes. And the first, also during this year, before this month, the first 3D books came out, and 1.25 million copies, which is, I mean, if you compare that to comics today, that's
Was it pretty dolly?
Right? And then
got a million of these things there if I have a 9.2 in it.
And the first polio vaccination started. So Matt Baker was doing a lot. That's I think could
that's
be
one of my favorite pictorial romances. Yeah, that's one of my favorite covers there.
I think that might be Wallywood frontline.
Nice.
Got some Chambers.
Yeah, that's Strange Tales. That could be. Is that Bill Everett right there?
That's probably the one cover. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I like that Uncanny Tales a lot.
Yeah, that Uncanny is a cool cover.
That I think I know who that is. That's. Let me look. I have
the Fantastic Bears are pretty hard to find these days.
Yeah. Actually, they're getting real popular now because of their. Most of their covers are disgustingly like. Well, they don't have like anybody who features on the cover. If they have full skin on them, they're the victim. Everybody's either a zombie or missing half their face. It's great.
Yeah, and those Ajax Ferals, the high grades are usually like 6s and 7s. You know, if you got 5, it's a really liquid book.
There was a lot of black covers on this time as well. And then okay, let's see what happened. Oh, so in 54, in April, Seduction of the Innocent was published. Then they had the Senate committee, and they agree. Oh, and in July, Elvis was on TV for the first time, and then this is the actual last month before the Comics Code had to be on everything.
Oh, that's some Baker love right there, and
Life Secrets.
Yeah, bunch of thrills. There you go.
And that's a funny Uncanny Tales, the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
What is this Haunted Tales about? Like he's death to gamblers or something? I don't know.
I had a copy of it that was really great, and I flipped through it just to see the condition and completeness, and then I sold it, but I never actually read that one, so I don't know.
I think there's because I've been looking to write that one down on my list of things. Horse racing ones I like, whether it be carousel or not. And there are a lot of cool horror covers. Some Bernie Wright's all the way back to there, but that's one of my favorite covers there. Horse racing, because there's a lot of cool horse racing covers in the early 50s.
In the last month, before I do that, I'll just read some numbers. So this was the first month, the 1st September. And remember, this was 23 different books were published during that whole month. And then in 45, 70 different comics that month. And 55, despite the code now in full effect, there was 182 different comic books published this month, of which
Jack Davis
two that were interesting to me. But I didn't even know EC did anything with the code, I found those interesting.
That's a cool, incredible science fiction. That's great. That's a great Jack Davis right there.
But can you believe that? 182 different comics. It's amazing. Comics were huge back then. So that's that. And if people like that, I'll do that again. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We'll do that every week. We're going to do a spec books for the Golden Age. We'll have fun.
Until I get kicked off the color printer at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I use my phone to show things on here. I'm not wasting the ink's too expensive and it goes through color ink too fast. I just use my phone and hold it up. I'm not printing anything off unless it's black ink.
There you go.
Comic money, I'm not trying to spend comic money on ink.
Exactly. have anything going up they want to share? First,
Well, I got
Do
this
you-
interesting comic.
Oh.
It's not Golden Age, but I was just at the local comic shop getting some bags, and I saw this. I think it's from England, but it was a TV show I liked growing up, Galaxy Rangers. I never knew they did a comic.
some people might recognize what this shirt is, and my mic's in the way. Anybody want to guess what this is from?
I don't know. Is that from this?
No, it's from Voltron.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was just
Which,
about.
by the way, September 10th, 1984 was his first episode ever, just today.
Oh, wow.
35th
That's
anniversary of Voltron. So,
Nice.
but
In America or in Japan?
I think here.
Oh, that's cool.
I remember getting freaking kid across the street, got all those really big. We can put them all together, and I broke his Green Lion the day he got it on Christmas.
Oh,
So pissed. His dad was pissed.
I remember I
I got kicked. It was great.
I was friends with some Japanese people, and their kids had Voltron like it seemed like months before it came out here, and I was amazed. And it had all these like missiles firing off of everything and all this
It
stuff.
was a Japanese Voltron that wasn't lions. It was cars. It was automobiles. It was trucks. It was everything else. That was
There's that one. Yeah, but
that was the first one.
It had
That was
all
Japanese.
these missiles and cool things that they took off for the U.S. one because the kids were choking on the missiles from
Now, and those kids grew up and had kids that now, well, those are the kids that grew up and ate Tide Pods, I guess. I don't know. Tide Pod kids generation. But that's that. So I have real briefly tomorrow night on this channel. We've got Unlimited, and I will also be tomorrow, I think, on John's channel doing new comic book day, the new read, King Thor #1. Big surprise that I got the invite. I'm a 3-time invitee, and I thank them very much every time they invite me. I'm surprised they always invite me back. Okay. So what else? I know you got an auction going on, don't you, DS?
Yeah, on Thursday, I'm going to be on White Whale Comics at 9 p.m. on Thursday with White Whale and John's Comics for Kids. We're going to do a comic book auction, and I'm going to have all sorts of keys and big books, Silver Age, Bronze Age, hot books, keys, first appearances. I've just got a lot of big books here I need to move in time for Baltimore, so I'm going to be giving out deals and starting bids low and trying to get rid of everything under GPA. And yeah, so hopefully there's a good amount of people that show up and get some good books from me.
Nice. Bub's Comics just said we had both completed sets. The vehicle Voltrons you could get at the Times Square in the 80s. In the Toys R Us, I remember going to the Toys R Us for Voltron, and I got the one pose Voltron. That's what I got. Because the other ones had too many pieces and they too expensive, and man, that sucked. Now, what else is going on? Paul, what do you got coming up? What you did on your channel, and tell everybody about Bill Everett a little bit.
Well, yesterday I dropped one of my artist spotlights on Bill Everett.
Nice. I gotta watch that.
Yeah,
It's really good.
And I've got, I think, two that I'm planning out to do within the next week or so. Plus, I'm working on another episode of Inside the Issue.
I asked for one. Let's see if you come through with that one. You know
But on Inside the Issues?
No, not Inside the Issues. Yeah, there's one I want you to do. I'll send you that one. It'll be fun.
Next one will be interesting. It'll see if they take it down.
Yeah.
Don't get your thing banned like Tebow.
Yeah. So, okay. Anything else going on anybody's channel? Knights of Old, you got anything going on? And then
I keep thinking I'm gonna, but time has just been. I just haven't time.
I have a lot of stuff I've got to ship out. A lot of stuff I've got to get ready to get pressed. I got a lot of stuff I got to sell. And a lot of stuff I got to do before Baltimore, and I got other shit I got to do. So, anyway, everybody, thanks a lot for being here. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us in the chat. We had a great time. I like the new segment. I think it's a lot of fun. We will be having a good time. And what was the question? There was a good one right there. Some Fantastic Four issues also. Look at this. Silver Age Fantastic Four. So if you're interested in that, I don't know why anybody wouldn't be. Some of the best ones out there. Have a good time. Thank you for being a friend. Have a good
Bye,
one.
everybody.
See ya.